Hey, how you doing, everybody? Just wanted to drop another video of I think something I wanted to see but couldn't find when I first started collecting. So before you have the Marvel Legends. That's no matter where you are in your action figure collecting, you probably either have been through or are still in the middle of loving quite a few legends with them occupying your shelves. So I'm very much the same way. That's how I started. Just saw a few figures and it really built from there. But where I'm going with this is, with as nice as these are, as good as they can make them, and these are a couple of very good examples in my opinion. We have the Shang-Chi here with all the articulation that he has. Um, got the cutout there. I mean, the double jointed elbows, the good look. And then you have your exclusive Marvel Legends. Sorry, exclusive Captain Marvel. Exclusive to what? I have no idea. But it's the gray suit one, and I like it a lot. So, um, I'm looking at these. So I got to thinking. So why would one consider going to that next level, right? If this is available in theory at $20 a piece in that range, if you can find it on the shelves, right? Obviously, some cases you might have to pay more. It's just the way it is. But is there a reason to go to the next level? So I'm sure you've probably heard of all the other companies, and a great many of you probably collect them. So this is not targeted for you, but maybe the person who's thinking, well, is it worth paying the extra money to step up to that next level? So just here to give you my opinion. So we'll get started. So I think the next level up from Marvel Legends insofar as cost goes, I think that would be, let's move you over here, get you out of the way. I think that would be NECA. So here's NECA. NECA Batman. This is, I think, Batman Begins. Get a good look at him here. It's cloth goods. So I wouldn't say this is, a perfect example of a NECA, but I only have so many of everything. So, my thoughts on this are, it has limited articulation, um, but the looks, the detail that they give you for those looks is a sacrifice that some people are very very willing to make. You're probably not going to get double jointed elbows a great deal of the time. A great deal of time. You're not going to get the double jointed knees. You're not going to get tremendous hips. You're not going to get a lot of things, and things can be stiff. But it will give you very very good visual images. They spend a lot of time on accessories, the extras, the details that can really make a difference to some people. And they're really not that much more. They have a great horror series, and so they got that guy. And here's another example of a NECA. So you have Dutch here. I mean, take a look at that face. They go the extra mile. It's, in my opinion, worth the extra $10 in a lot of cases to get these NECAs. Here's it, some of the detail I'm talking about as far as the accessories. Let's make sure I get that in there right. And again, you have a removable gun on this side, and everything just looks really nice. So NECA does have its drawbacks, and that is a little bit stiff, but it's posable. And it just does lack a little bit of articulation, but it more than makes up for in looks, and some of the licenses they get. They turn out great work. I think maybe the next step would be, let's see here. Maybe you're getting into, my camera's popping up here. Let's see here. Maybe a Mafex. So this is Mafex Joker. What you get here is smooth articulation. The shoulders kind of pop out and pop back in to give you the extra ranges that you want to be able to hit the different poses. It does create some gap issues. They spend quite a bit of time on detail, on accessories, etc. You do get plenty of hands. Maybe I can pick the ideal hands for these particular accessories, but no, these are very, very nice. And the problem with these, if there is one in my opinion, it is that they're so nice that it's more like articulated art. Matter of fact, I think his chain is bunched up in his crotch there. Hold on a second. I gotta get that worked out. I don't know how the heck that happened. Probably took a tumble or something like that. I'll have to figure that out. There we go. That's how it is. There we go. At any rate, where was I going? Oh yeah, these are a little bit too much like art in that they can't take too many of what you just saw because they will pop apart. They're very delicate. This is not something you want to hand to your kid and smash them together. And, you know, they can't take too many falls off of high shelves. They will pop. They will break. And I think that's what you get when you move up the articulation chain. It's just sort of the way it is. So I think a good middle ground is something I've recently gotten a few of, and that's Storm Collectibles. Storm Collectibles is very nice. They do have that little bit of arm pop like I'm talking about to provide some of that articulation, which is very good. It's very smooth. Their characters are generally very beefy. They do have a few gap issues here and there. I think they've got like an internal skeleton or something like that, but they look nice. They feel great. They've got some beef to them. And it's almost like in some areas, especially you'll notice on like the Sagats and Shao Kahns, that some of that beef is flexible. So it's kind of a trip. Another example of Storm. Let me move you off to the side here. So when they want to hit a likeness, I think they can. This is Mike Tyson. Probably pretty obvious. He's got all the articulation that you'd want, all the posability you'd want, a little bit of gapping as far as this upper body separating from the lower body in certain poses. Plenty of accessories even for a boxer. You know, it came with 3 heads. I think he came with several championship belts, etc. Be cool if he came with regular hands, but you know, he's a boxer, so what did I expect? But these are very, very nice. They're not that delicate. I haven't had one break on me. Occasionally I have a foot pop off or something like that, and on the forums I do see your occasional breakage, so they're not immune to it, but they do play very well. Just my opinion, that's a very good middle ground. Some of these are getting up to the $100 range, etc., but for the most part, I think you'll find them as less expensive than your Mezcos, but they are getting up there. Another alternative, should you be looking to scale up in life, are SH Figuarts or Bandai, Tamashii Nation, or whatever the heck it is. These are something else. To me, this is my preferred range. I'm not quite up to your, top of the line stuff, but the articulation that's offered on some of these are really, really nice. Figured this one out from Anthony's Customs, so I give him credit for this. I've never had a Dragon Ball Z character before I saw this, but just everything he said it was, and definitely more. Highly posable, including in some very cool positions. He can hold kicks, high kicks. The articulation is nice. It's smooth. There's not a whole lot of gapping that's anywhere. They spent time understanding not only is it a toy, but it's a toy that's got a balance. So despite the looks of very delicate feet, etc., he stands up very, very well. Great figures. And as far as if you want human likeness, to me they are top of the line. So this is Severus Snape from Harry Potter. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. You're not going to get much better than that. I mean, that's sick. So is it worth it? Yeah, in my opinion. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. If you want a smash 'em up toy, no, don't go to the imports. They will break on you. They are not smash 'em up toys, but they are fantastic in both terms of articulation, human likeness, character likeness, etc. I can't think of too many drawbacks outside of, the price and maybe the fact that you would consider some of them small versus maybe comparable figure predecessors. If you stand this up, if you get on SH Figuarts Batman and you stand it up next to a DC or McFarlane, it's going to be short, but it's going to look better too, probably. So another thing to consider. And then the top of the line, I only have one of these to show you. I don't even think it's the best example, but I think the top of the line right now is probably Mezco. Mezco mixes cloth goods with beautiful designs, tons of accessories, and damn near perfect presentation as far as inbox, their layout. It feels like you're doing something really nice when you're opening a Mezco. There's no doubt about it. It's a process instead of, hey, let me get this open and check this out. No, it's much more of a process that you go through with something that nice. Drawbacks. Price. Another drawback is they are delicate. If you take a tumble or two with these off the shelf, don't be surprised to find that it is flat out broken. Also, articulation. They do sacrifice some in articulation to provide the looks, and even in some cases where the articulation is present, the cloth goods that they use to give you such fantastic looks will sometimes hinder that articulation. I hear lots of stories of breakage and things like that, but as far as just, you want something nice, both to hold, the feel of them is different. It's difficult to describe, but if you have the money and you're in it for the pictures and you don't have, curious cats or you want to just play smash them up or give them to the kids, then you go as far up the chain as you can go, because I'm sure this is just touching the iceberg. I mean, it's the tip of the iceberg. Probably a long way to go that I haven't. But that's what I think about sort of the figures that at least are within the range that I've purchased so far. And, overall, is it worth it? It's probably an individual decision, but I just figure I'd, point out some pluses and some negatives for anybody who's thinking about going up the chain and hasn't yet. One more thing, and it's not a plug, that you should know. So Storm Collectibles especially, what I found is those sometimes are a little ratchety. And so I got this. I figured this out from the internet, and you put a little bit of that around the shoulder joint on the inside, and all that ratchety went away, and it just became smooth as can be. And it's in my opinion anyway, increased the amount of fun that I have with it. It doesn't hinder posability, but some of them are so ratchety that it makes you think that, okay, Jesus, this thing gonna break? But a little bit of that on the joints, and it's worked perfect. I haven't really had a chance to use it on any Legends or anything like that. I'm told that if you can successfully maybe pop a ball and socket joint, then it'll obviously work, but can you get it out of there safely, that sort of thing. So when it comes to shoulders, that sort of stuff. So just my thoughts. Just wanted to drop that. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.